And we're live. Hey guys, we have Carl from Oregon, Sada, CG, Andrew, hi Mika. How is the audio, guys? Everything okay? The video? Can you see me and hear me fine? Mika from Spain. Phil from France. I've been to France recently, Phil. Tom, Arvin, Uli, Paul from US. Steve, Felix, hi guys. Hey Jay. The chat is going crazy. Let's give it 1-2 minutes so everyone can get a chance to come in before we start. Today is an exciting day. We've prepared a very cool live demo for you. I'll share my screen in a moment and we'll begin. Hi, Kevin, Michael. Good evening, everyone. Of course, it's evening here. It's 10 p.m. here. Phil, you are welcome in Paris. Yes, yes, I went there with my wife and one of my kids. We stayed a couple of days and walked around Paris, but we couldn't see anything inside the museums or go to the Eiffel Tower, something like this, because it was locked down, so everything was closed. My kid was pretty excited with Paris. Hey, Donna, Kit. Hi guys, welcome. Audio is fine, excellent. Yeah, I got a lot of slack with audio back in the day when we started the webinar series, so I have a new mic. From Chisinau. Hey, GP. Okay, guys. Let's start this party. I'll share this presentation I have put together. Today we'll talk about, and I'll show you how to build a blog in Brizy Cloud. The session goals as usual. I want you to learn to build blogs in Brizy Cloud CMS, but more specifically, today we'll talk about, and I'll show you how to manage blog posts and categories, how to create listings and work with the dynamic elements we have in Brizy Cloud, and also how to create templates for your categories and single posts. And we're pretty excited about this new way of creating templates. The game plan is this. The session, I've figured it will be around 90 minutes today. I'll kindly ask you to hold your questions until we get to the Q&A section of the webinar and mark them as a question in the chat. You have a button there. I also have Bogdan here in the back. I'm not sure you can see him. Yes, he is gonna be there in the chat and help you with some answers if you in the meantime. At the end, we have a surprise for you, and of course, like usual, no tech support in this webinar. So please go to our website if you have some technical questions, some technical difficulties, and my colleagues will help you there. This is me. I'm Dimi. I'm one of the co-founders here at Brizy. We're four good friends. I love spending a lot of time with my family, or at least as much as I can. I also love reading. I currently read a fantasy book, very cool. It's called Blade Itself, written by Joe Abercrombie. Excellent fantasy. And also I game from time to time, although there is not much time for gaming lately. I'm one of the designers here at Brizy, and I'm part of the team that put it together, the UI you see there and the user experience, and that's partly my job. And I work in web right since after high school in 2000, so I have some years under my belt. But enough about me. Let's go to let's go to the main event tonight. Let me just put my phone on silent. Sorry about that. So here we go. This is a live showcase. So I'll share my screen. If for some reason you get some freezes or my audio is getting lost, just hit a refresh in the browser and you'll get back in, or maybe switch browsers or things like that. You should know that our internet in the office played some tricks on us today. So if I got lost or I disconnect, I'll be right back. So stick around. Let me share my screen. Share. Okay, excellent. I'll wait for confirmation that you guys can see my screen and everything is going fine. Let me see. Okay, so Brizy Cloud CMS. I'm not sure you are familiar with Brizy Cloud. Most likely you are, but it's a managed platform based, and the foundation is the Brizy Builder. The platform is 100% managed by us. Everything is in the cloud, and we recently added Brizy Cloud blogging. So we've basically started the Brizy Cloud CMS actually last week. So today I want to walk you through these options and show you how to create a blog in Brizy Cloud, and I'm sure you'll love it. This is what we'll build today. We have this nice and clean blog. This is the homepage where we'll have posts from different categories. I have put some dummy content in here just to showcase this. This is the homepage. We'll have pages for the categories, post listings. So this would be the interviews, for example, blog category interviews. We'll have blog listings here with pagination and all. And also we'll be working on a single post page. This would be a single post page for our blog tonight. You have your content here. We'll go with discuss for comments. And this is it. Let's get started. This is my Brizy Cloud dashboard. I have created a special workspace or sub account, we call it, called webinar. And this is my project. I'll go to the Brizy Builder. Here we go. This is the home page. First of all, we need to start with any CMS. We need to start with the very basics, right? You need to know how to manage blog posts and also blog categories, right? So you need to know how to input your content in the CMS, and you'll do that from the sidebar here at the top. You'll see this nice overlay opened, and we have here pages where you can create pages. And we have here the blog functionality where, of course, I don't want to bore you 40 minutes adding the blog post. So I have already filled in some blog posts to have some dummy content to work with. And how you'll add blog post is very simple. You click this bottom, add post, and here you'll be able to add you can add a title, featured image, an excerpt, and modify the permalink. Also, you can publish it or make it a draft if you don't want your page to be accessible. So this is the standard. We didn't invent any wheels here. The same goes for categories. These are the blog categories. You can create them from here. I've already created some. You'll click the add new category, and the same, you'll be able to fill in this nice fields here. Let's check out the blog post. This is how it looks. The options you see here are the foundation for the Brizy Cloud CMS. when we launch the ACF, the Advanced Custom Fields functionality, I think in an update or two, or I think it will be next, but I'm not sure. It will be very soon. You'll be able to control this, and you'll be able to add as many fields as you want, and you'll be able to create all sorts of complex websites. That's about it with the blog posts and categories. You can add them from here. Let's start building our blog tonight. I usually like to start with the homepage. So we'll edit the homepage. And any website has a header and a footer, right? So we'll start with exactly that. In order to add a header, you click this nice blue plus button here in the middle. You can go to blocks. And if you are familiar with how Brizy works, we have some categories blocks here, and you go to the header and add any header you want. I've created already a header for this for tonight, so it doesn't make sense to go through all the process all over again. So I'll take it from the saved blocks here. I have a couple of blocks saved here, and let me see where the header is. This is the header. A nice logo designer, I've called it. And we have here the menu. As you can see, there is only one link in the menu, and this is the home page. But let's add more items in the menu. And in the same time, I'll show you how you can manage menus. You go here at the project settings, and this nice pop-up appears. And we only have the home page in the menu. The main menu, you can create multiple menus from up top here. You just create a new menu and populate it with other pages or blog posts or whatever you want. But we'll use this main menu. We have the home page, and I'll add some blog categories. We'll go with these ones here, and you'll click the Add to Menu button. Of course, you can rearrange them and play with them here. Also modify the names and put descriptions, set them as homepage and things like that. Let me just put them with caps. Illustration. And we have the community blogger. And hit the save. Every time you do something here, you hit the save to make to apply the changes. And now, if we go on our homepage here, I'll hit an update. The menu functionality right now is not linked with the menu element. So when you modify something in the menu, we'll address that in a future update. But when you modify something in the menu, you just need to hit a refresh. So the system picks up the new changes, and here they are. So we have a homepage, and the rest are blog categories. This is our header. Let's also add a footer. Of course, you can create it from scratch, but I did that already to save some time. And here is our footer. We have a header and a footer. And let's add a middle block, an empty block for our content. Here is where we'll build our content. But before we get to that, let me ask you, the header and the footer, we need the header and the footer on all the pages. So what we'll do and how Brizy works is it works with global blocks. This is how you'll put the header and the footer on all the pages. You'll go here on the block, on the header block, make it global because we want it to be a global block. And you'll see it's global because this nice icon appears here. And under the global option, you can see this display condition options. And in this pop-up, you can set up where this header block, or any block for that matter, will go on your website, where it will be displayed. And it will be displayed right now, included on pages and homepage, but we want it on all the pages. So we'll select here all. This means all the pages, all the blog posts, all the categories, everything. We hit a save, and let's do that really fast for the footer as well. Make it global. By the way, you can access the display conditions from here, included, all, and hit save. And at this point, anything will create in Brizy Cloud CMS, any page, it will come with the header and the footer already there. If we modify something in the header and the footer, because it's a global block, it will go on all the pages automatically, so you don't have to do anything going forward regarding that. I'll hit an update, and right now we'll start to create the homepage for our blog. And let me just go back to the drawing board here, where I've shown you how our homepage will look, so I can see what we'll create. So we'll have first a post, and we'll have a featured story, right? And after that, we'll have some posts that come from the interviews category. So we'll start with that. I'll go back to the builder, and let's build it. Right now, we'll work with the dynamic content element, specifically with the post element. So you'll open here the add element in the sidebar, and you'll search for posts. We add posts into the page. This is our post element. You can see this these placeholders that are not actually images or the excerpt here. That will change in an update or two. We are working on to link the preview in the builder. So we'll work like this for the time being, but this will change soon. So we want to have only one column and only one row. And this will be, if we look back at the home page, as you can see, we'll have an image on the left side, and we'll have some dynamic content, the title on the right side, left and right. Okay. So we'll need to add two columns here. We search for columns, and we'll drag the image in one column and the title, excerpt, and button in the right column. The bottom we don't need, so we can delete. And from this point on, you can play with it and modify it the way you want. For example, I've set up beforehand, as you should do actually, set up beforehand all the colors, the global colors, and the typography, the global typography. So I'll use this to work on our website. So for example, for our title, our blog title, if I go here and select from typography heading 1, all the data will come from here from the global typography. So I advise you learn this global options and use them, because it will save you a lot of time. The excerpt, it will be a paragraph, and let's add another text here and make it a featured story, right? Featured story. This is one of our featured stories. You don't have to write caps, because we've added this icon here. If you press it, it will caps your text. And I also give it, I think it's above title. And let's select and put it like this. I think we need everything leveled and centered. Right. And on the home, let's the link for the home, let's make it to go to the post URL. So basically, when you click the link, you'll go to the actual post details, and you'll do this from the link icon. And on the link to, you'll select this dynamic icon and post URL. Let's do the same for the image. And the next thing I want to show you is the query system that we've built for the post element. If you go here on the post, the first icon, you have certain options like how many columns or how many rows if you want multiple posts displayed. But on the filter tab, we've created this query system that will let you select what posts will be displayed here in this element. So for example, you can include all, and if you leave it by default, it will show only the last post added by ordered by ID. Or you can include from certain categories, for example, if you want a certain post. So from categories, you can select here. Let's pick process, for example, right? Process. So right now it will display only posts from the process categories. Or if you want, you can select manual and search for a certain post. For example, 7 projects. Do we have something like this? Yes, we do. So this is a manual post set it specifically to be displayed here. You can also exclude certain categories or certain posts. You can also offset certain posts, and I'll show this in a minute how it works. And that's about it. It's a very complex query system. We didn't have this up until now, but it will help you create very, very complex structures and displays for your blog categories. And this is mainly our first section. I think we'll want here on the image, on the hover, on the shadow. Let me play a bit with it, because I really like when you hover an image to have a shadow there, but it's a bit too dark. I think we'll make it something like this, maybe 20%. That's more like it. Pretty nice, right? So let's update it. And if we press this preview button, we'll get a preview with our first. And this is our first section. I think I need to reposition here to realign this. But this is it, right? Looks like we're making progress. Let me realign this. And next we have 3 posts from the interviews category, right? They will be displayed like this in a grid fashion. And what we'll do, of course, we'll go back to our good friend post element. We'll search it here, and then we'll add it on a page. And looks like we have something. We don't need to modify it a lot. We have the title. Let's delete the excerpt for now, and maybe delete the button as well, and work only with the title. Actually, you know what? I'll add another block so we can make this post elements in separate blocks. This will also give me control over the blocks, because you can set all sorts of things here: backgrounds, images, filters, overlays, all sorts of things. So it's good to work on separate blocks. Okay. We have here the title of our blog posts. Let's put this on H3. Maybe play a bit with the paddings here. Actually, no. You know what? I will not play with the paddings, because we have a nice, cool option here in the posts, and this is spacing. You can space the blog posts naturally, and you will not have to play with the column paddings. Looks pretty cool. Love it. Let's put that nice shadow. Nice shadow on these images as well. I think we'll go with the same 20 and 20% opacity. Excellent. Let's hit a save on our second section and hit a refresh on our preview. We have three dynamic posts from Brizy Cloud CMS brought here, but remember, we wanted posts from interviews category. So we need to go back and play with that filter option. So we'll go in the posts, filters, and here, if we want to include the interviews category, we'll go here on categories and then search for interviews, and we'll leave it like this. And we'll leave it like this. Let me play a bit with the spacings here so we make everything a bit tidier. Let's hit refresh again and go on the front end to see our posts from interview. But let me add that interview here, interview tag, so to speak. So we know that the interview. So we know that we are looking at posts from the interview category. I'll set this on the above title and also put the global color on it. Maybe play a bit with the paddings here. Excellent. Update. Hit a refresh again. And these are our posts from the interview category. Let's see what we have next. I'll go back to the drawing board. Now we have a section where we have a main post from the illustration category and another 3 posts from the community category. But as you can see, these have a different structure. And we'll start every time. As you can see, we start the blocks from scratch. And of course, I may sound like a broken record, but again, this is important. The post element is a major element, so we'll use the post element again. Drag this here. Actually, you know what? We'll not drag. I'll show you another way to use the post element. We'll not drag a new one, but actually what we'll do is duplicate the post that we already have here. So we can duplicate that and drag it in the next block. So let me see how this looks again. So we have the title and also have the title. Let me take from here, not like this, sorry about that. Let me take an excerpt from here. And I'll go and put this, I'll make it 1 column and also 1 row. And I'll need a 2 column setup here. But not in this, in the block. And I'll drag the post element in the left side. Duplicate this, drag this on the right side. And this will make, I think this again had a, sorry about this. This again had a 2 column setup inside. So we'll have, We'll have the image here and also the title here. We'll make this in the middle. It's already H3, it's okay. And what we'll do with this one, we'll make it 3 rows. So we have 3 posts. I'll need to remove some of the paddings and some of the spacings that are created here by the columns. Have this on 0, excellent. And if you want to add, for example, if you want to add, I think we have too many posts here. Let me see, not 5, but let's go with 2 or 3. Let's go with 3. Make the images smaller. If you would want to have here a separator, for example, you only need to drag a line from the elements. So we'll go with the line here. Of course, make it more subtle. This is you can play with it and play with all the spacings and make it exactly the way you want. I have everything made already, and I can add it to the page if you guys want. But this is mainly how you'll do it. If you go through the elements and remove some of the paddings and margins, you'll get it exactly the way you want. And now let's set up our. Let me see what we have here. We have a post from illustration. So I'll add this. I'll add the illustration. Not text. I want a text element. So this is illustration, above title, and the second one is, I think, community, if I'm not mistaken, community. Play with it a bit with the paddings and margins, just to align everything just right. Excellent. Now let's bring in the posts from those categories. So we have illustration here. I'll go to our filter query system. As you can see, because we've duplicated the post element from another section, we have interviews here, but we don't want interviews. We want illustration. And on the community element, we'll go with filter, and we'll select community here. Community. Let's hit an update and see what we've done. So we have the first, then we have our interview posts, and these are the posts from our illustration category and also from our community. You can actually let me play a bit with the alignments here. Maybe put this on H2. Play with the colors for the excerpts. And hit an update. I think we have a lot of spacings here. Let's tighten things up a bit. I like my blocks to be tighter, especially on blog. You give your users a better way to read your content. I'll hit a refresh again on the front end. Let's see what we've got. This is it, right? We have blog posts from different categories. This is mainly what a blog homepage would consist of. You'll bring in dynamically blog posts from certain categories. Let's see on our initial design. We have this nice sign up form here that I've created. Let's add that. You can of course start it from scratch. We have a bunch of blocks here that will help you with CTAs and things like that. But I've started with one of them and created this block. Here it is. And then we have the footer. Actually, you know what? Let's put this block, this subscribe to your list block on all the pages. So remember, you'll go to make it global. And after it's global, in display conditions, you put it on all. Save. Hit an update. And this is our home page. This is our home page. It looks pretty cool. In this block, we can play a bit with the sizes and things like that. But I let you go and play with Brizy Cloud CMS and figure out everything. Our initial design looks a bit tighter, but this will do just fine for now for an example. And we have our global headers, we have dynamic posts, and we have global footers. Next is we'll need to create a category listing. So you'll go here to access the Brizy Cloud CMS. You'll go on the blog in the categories side, and you can pick any category you want. Let's go with the first one, interviews. It doesn't really matter because you'll start from scratch. And when you start from scratch, of course, not from scratch, because we have all the global blocks, right? We have the header, this subscription block, and the footer already here waiting for us. But you'll start building the page from scratch, so it doesn't matter what category you start with. And let's look at our initial design. Here, interviews. So we have the name of the category, a button. For example, if you're a freelancer, maybe you want to generate leads and get people to sell them your services. And then we have a pretty basic listing or simplified listing of our blog posts. Okay, let's do it. What I'll do is I already have this created here, but But I'm thinking we started. No, let's add it from what I've created initially, and we'll build only the archive listing. Let me add another block, a blank block, and here on the category page, you will not work with the posts. You'll work with the archive element. This is another dynamic element that is very important because it's a contextual element. It is tightly linked with the categories of your blog. So basically, you'll add this on your page, and the element already knows where it is. It communicates with the categories and will display only posts from the interviews category. Let's modify this a bit. So we had, I think we had 2 columns. Again, we'll go with the 2 columns set up here. And we'll have only 1 row and 1 column. I'll duplicate that. And we have the featured image here on the left. And of course, the title and the excerpt on the right. I'll delete the button for now. You can use it if you want. And we want to make this a bit tighter again on the block. I go with 90 sometimes. And let's make the image, the featured image, a bit smaller. Maybe 30, 70, I'm not sure. It works. The interviews is the title of our blog post, so we'll put it on maybe H1 or H3, and the excerpt, it's a paragraph. Let's play with the alignments a bit. We want this on the left side and also in the middle of the column. We can align content from the column. By the way, if you get yourself into situations like this, because you will, as you can see, I am getting into it, and you will as well. If you find that it is hard to select certain bubbles here for the options, all you need to do, we have shortcuts. All you need to do is select an element in a column, and if you press escape, it will move up a level. So it will go to this column and then move up and up and up until it goes to the block. So it's easy to select parent elements. This is our, okay, let's put this to go to the post URL and the image as well. I'm thinking now that maybe we should set on these elements, set this option by default, because I found myself putting these links a lot today. So I'll talk with the guys to make this change. Okay, and we have, let me go back to the design again. So we have like this, and then we have a separator and a couple of, okay. And let's add that separator. You'll find it here under line. One pixel, maybe 15. And maybe make it 100%. And from the post element, correction, from the archive element, we have 1 column and we want multiple rows. So this is where you set how many posts you'll be displaying on your per page. So basically, let's not put too many so we can get 2 pages. I can show you the multi-page format. Let's maybe go with 6. And we have 6 posts, and we have the pagination here at the bottom. If you click it, you can modify some things here regarding the styling. I think I want to make this larger, maybe play with the fonts a bit. Yep. I think I'm back. Let's see. Can you guys hear me? Yeah, my internet. Yep, audio back. Can hear. Okay. No problem. Thing happen. Let me share my screen again. Share screen on. Share screen. Excellent. I'll go back into the builder. I'll hit a refresh. I hope something. Yeah, we need to we need to go back on that post on that archive listing. I'll just pick up the block I've saved earlier. And also add. I didn't manage to hit a save and lost some work here. And also put this header. This is basically it. This is where we cut off. This is the archive element. So I've set here a couple of rows, 6 rows. On the filter, you will not find all the query options because the archive element works a bit different. I'm back again. I'm back again. It's not the software. It's not the webinar gem. They're doing a pretty good job usually. It's my internet connection here at the office. Something it's off tonight. Am I back? Oh, okay. Let's give it third time's the charm, right? Let's give it another go. I share my screen. Share your application window. Okay. I'm a stubborn fellow, so I'll stick here until we get this through. Okay, we're in the builder again. So we are editing the category blog post page. I've hit a refresh the third time. Let's make it stick this time around. And when we go on the front end and hit a refresh, you'll see the interviews category with the archive and blog listings. These posts are dynamically generated from the Brizy Cloud CMS, and this is what we have. We have more posts, so we have a second page. If you click this, it will load the second page with the remaining posts. I think there are 3. Okay, excellent. And what at this point, what if we want, for example, the rest of the categories, the process, the illustration, or the community category? We'd want them, right, to work in bulk. The idea with CMS, with a cloud CMS, and with a CMS in general is to work, right? You have a couple of hundred posts, you have a lot of categories, and you want to work something to apply a template, to apply some changes across the board. So if you want to this listing from interviews to go on all your categories, let's check it to see what we have in the process category, for example. Right now we have only the global blocks. We have the header, the subscribe section, and the footer. And the same goes with every category. But if we would want this archive element and something to apply across the board, you'll say I'm crazy, but we'll go back at the root of things, at the global display conditions. So you'll use global blocks and global display conditions as a new way to create templates. This is how it works in Brizy Cloud CMS, and this is how it makes sense to be. We'll need this section as well. So for example, we'll make it global because we want, this is for the interviews category, but remember, we want to put this on all the categories. So we want, when you go to process, this text here to say process, and so on and so forth. So we'll put this on all categories. Yeah, sure, we'll put it on all categories. Save. And also the block with the archive listing, we'll make it global. And on the display conditions, we'll include it in categories, in all categories. Save. Hit an update. This is our interviews. And when we go to process, you'll see that it has exactly the same template, because the blocks applied are dynamic blocks, first of all, and they get the information from the CMS, from what you've filled in earlier. And also they apply across the board for all categories. So right now, the archive element is bringing in all the posts from process. If we go to illustration, we'll get exactly the same thing. We'll get the illustration category with the archive element displaying the blog post from the illustration category. And this is how you create templates for your categories across the board. But let's play a bit with this and see what are the possibilities. Let's say, for example, that you don't want the same listing for all categories, right? This listing with the image on the left side and the title and the excerpt on the right side. Let's say for 2 categories, for illustration and community, you want another total different approach, different design. We'll go into the builder. This is very simple to do. We'll go into the builder, and what we'll do is go into illustration category. Go into the illustration category, and we'll go here on the archive element block, in the display conditions, and we'll include another condition, and this time will not include but will exclude this block from categories, and we'll select here what we said. We said illustration, we'll exclude from illustration, and we'll also exclude from community. Save, and as you can see, the blocks already disappeared from the builder as well. And at this point, you basically start the process again. I'll just add something from my saved blocks here. Let's pick this one up and modify it a bit. For example, let's first of all, let me move this to fewer rows. Maybe move the title here, the excerpt. And then put more columns instead of rows. So basically we'll get a grid in this way. This is how we'll get a post grid. I think I want a bit of spacing between my posts, and then we'll go with, I don't know, maybe 2 rows. Let's go with 3 rows, why not? And this is it. Let's update this. As you can see now, this block is not global. So basically, this listing will appear only on the illustration category because this is what we are working on. If we want to put this on community as well, of course, again, I come around with the global conditions. You make it global. And this block is included in the illustration category, and also we'll add it on the community category. Save. Excellent. Hit an update. And then we go on the front page and hit a refresh on the illustration category. This is the old page, but it will refresh in a sec. And this is the new listing in a grid sort of fashion. So you can see how easy you can adjust and adapt. And if you'll go to the community category, of course, you'll see the same grid listing, but the blog post will be from the community category. On the process, we'll have the one we've created before, and you can play and mix and match using the global blocks and the display conditions, and this way you can create all sorts of display for your posts. And of course, as a last step, and in our webinar tonight, and in the process of creating your blog, is of course your actual blog post, right? Because you create the homepage, you create the listings, but ultimately the blog posts are actually the most important, because this is where your user will come to read your content. And this is the design we've proposed for you in this blog post. We have here the featured image. We'll start with a big, nice featured image, and then on 2 columns we'll have sort of an author and a title, and this is the excerpt, and after that is the content of the blog post. We'll put some comments, and we have the rest of the global blocks. Let's move to the builder. And how do you create a single? How do you edit a post in your Brizy Cloud CMS? It's very simple. You just go to the post and edit it with Brizy. This is what you do with anything here with pages, posts, categories, anything. So we'll go to posts. And let's pick a post. Let's take this one. It doesn't matter. You can get anyone. Of course, again, you come here in the page. The page is not empty because you have the global headers. You have all the global blocks that are applying to this page will be displayed already in the page. And let's start building our single page. And we'll go with an image because we want this image to be the featured image for our blog post. And in order to make it to control the global, to control the dynamic part of the image, you'll go here on the image, and you don't upload a new image from your computer, but you click this nice dynamic icon, and you select from here featured image. So now this will be the featured image. Again, this will be drawn directly in the builder in in 2 updates or so. This is our. Let's make it a bit bigger, and you can control anything you want here. If you go, I like to put some corners, not 300 pixel corners, but maybe 10 pixel corners to give it a nice edge. This is our featured image, and we'll go with another block, and this block will make it. Let's make it 2 columns. Make it 2 columns, exactly like in design. And we'll have in the first column, we'll go with an image. We'll build a sort of an author, an author example. And we'll make this again. Let's make it featured image. Once we'll introduce the advanced custom fields functionality, you'll be able to add all sorts of fields like authors, all sorts of meta, all sorts of things. So right now, this is only an example. Of course, we'll make this smaller and bring the width of the block a bit down. I think I want to make this round, and you do this from here. Maybe a bit smaller. And on the right side, we'll have the title of the post. And we also have the excerpt. Maybe put a line in there to separate things, and a spacer. Of course, you can add anything you want here. If you are used to the Brizy Builder, we have a bunch of elements here, and you can create anything you like. But for the sake of time, I'll keep this as short as possible. I think this needs to be heading 1. Let me add a text for my name. Let's say I'm don't try to pronounce this. It's my last name. It's pretty hard to pronounce. So I'm Dimi, and we can also put here my job or something. I don't know, Brizy founder. Maybe give this another filling and make all the letters. Okay, excellent. Okay. So we have the featured image. We have some nice dynamic content here, and before I go into building the actual content and talking about the actual content of your blog post, let's add a new block here. And we'll have, if we've built already a 2-column setup, we'll need to go the same way. And here we'll put your comments section. So comment, we have 2 types of comment. We don't have yet. We don't have a native comments functionality inside Brizy Cloud CMS, but we've added. You can do Facebook comments, and also you can do discuss. We use discuss, and I recommend it a lot because it's a great solution for comments. We actually use it on Brizy.io as well on our website. Although we have all the blogging functionality there in WordPress, we are using Discuss. It's an excellent platform. And in the middle, guess what? It will be your actual content. So here in the middle, you'll be able to build your content. Let me go back and create this nice 2-column structure again. Here in the middle, you can create anything you like for your blog content. So you just drag anything you want from here. Let's say this is a title. And go with some paragraphs. Maybe you need to insert an image as well at some point. I'll just upload one from here. And this is how you build your actual post. Let me duplicate this and drag it down. Second title. I think I've added my other blocks in here, and they duplicated. I'll just hit an update and hit a refresh. Let me add the global block again, the footer. Yeah, I already had the design made from earlier, and I've built it on top of it. That's why we got a duplication of the blocks. Just Include all. Excellent. Here are the comments, the content. Excellent. Let's hit an update and then go on the front end to see what we've made. We have our blog posts. As you can see, this is the featured image for the blog post, the title, the excerpt, our blog content that you'll create directly with Brizy. You have comments via Facebook or discuss, our subscribe block and the footer. And at this point, in order to bring the dynamic parts of a blog post on all the other blog posts, guess what you'll do? I've said this 100 times already tonight. You'll go and make them global. So if you want this nice header featured image to go on all the blog posts, what you'll do, you will go here, you will make it global, and on the display conditions, you will include it in the blog posts. You can select of course, a custom post, but you'll go with all. So hit a save and move on the next block. If we want the author and the title and the excerpt to go on every post, again, we make it global and put it on all the posts. Save. The content will not make it global because we don't want the same content on all the blog posts. We want content to be specific and dynamic and different from blog post to blog post. So the content you'll create on each and every post. What I recommend and what I do is save this block, for example. So you can save this, have all the content from your blog post in a saved block. So you save it. The comments you want on all the blog posts, and you make it global again. And we put it on all. Let's hit a save and update. This is our single blog post, but let's try another one. Let's go to illustration. And if we go to, let's pick this one, for example. We get the same global blocks for this, except the content, because the content is something that you'll need to create for every blog post. So what you'll do if you want to edit this blog post, you'll go back into the builder, access the Brizy Cloud CMS assets, all posts, and let's pick a random one. It doesn't really matter. Let's go with this. You'll see that all the global blocks are here already. And in the middle here, we have the content. Remember, I told you to save that block. That will come in handy here. Of course, you can make every single blog post different, and this would make a hell of a blog, right? To have different stories and different designs and different approaches every time. So it will be awesome. But if you don't want to do that, we have this blog post already saved, and if you add it, you just start modifying the content here, do some copy pasting, modify some images, and you have your new blog post. Let me update this one as well. And this is the new blog post. It looks mainly the same because we've used the same design for the content, but the dynamic part, the templating part, is here, and this is how you'll address the templates using dynamic content, that is elements, using the global blocks, and using the display conditions for global blocks. This is basically it. We've touched on the categories. We've touched on the homepage, on the categories, and also on creating a single blog post. We have the homepage. We have the categories, blog categories. Let me go through this one more time. This is basically it. Hope you've liked it. Sorry for all the back and forth with the internet. Let's go to the questions. I'll stop sharing my screen. Turn the screen off. Excellent. Let's see the questions. I need a better internet. Yes, I do need a better internet. Of course, we'll try to solve this next time. Clap, clap, clap. Okay, let me see. Blue asks, can you discuss Brizy Cloud's ongoing relationship with WordPress? Brizy Cloud loves WordPress, Blue. For example, if we create these dynamic post pages in Cloud, can we import them into our WordPress site and they just work in the future with shopping? Will that work with WooCommerce, etc.? The dynamic elements will be the same. The dynamic elements will be the same. I'm not sure they can pass like this from I think they can pass through blocks. If you say blocks with dynamic elements, if the dynamic elements are on the other side, they will be displayed, but you'll need all the setup there, right? For example, if you pass an excerpt element or a title element, a dynamic title element, you'll need that on the other side in WordPress, for example, a post with a title set and things like that. So it's we'll need to flesh out the dynamic part on Brizy Cloud in the next months with advanced custom fields and also with the custom post builder. And once we'll have that together with all the dynamic elements, we'll see about passing things back and forth. But I can't see why that would not work. And this will work excellent because it will work with Brizy Sync, with the functionality that is already there. Robin, it is possible to add a blog to my current website, or does the blog have to be separated project? Very good question, Robin, that I forgot to mention at the beginning. Right now, you need to create a new project in Brizy Cloud CMS. We've just launched Brizy Cloud Blogging, and all the projects that were already there. So if you've created a project before this update, that project will not have the blogging functionality, but that is not forever. That is for about 2-3 months until we migrate those projects on the new system. The new system is pretty complex with new databases, very complex, and some server setups, and we want to take good care and migrate all those projects. There are, I think, 80,000-90,000 projects that we need to migrate. But you'll be able to create a blog post and blogging functionality on your older projects, but in 2 or 3 months or so. We'll migrate in steps, a couple of thousand projects at a time. Let's see. Can you make this as a template in your library? This blog sort of template we've put together today. Yeah, of course, yes, sure. We can look into that. I have a couple of pages. This is not the complex part. The issue here is that will solve. The guys are already working on something like this. We are working on an auto install. Because if you have this template and it's not dynamic, a blogging template that is not dynamic, it doesn't help you too much, because you need to get those elements and do some legwork to make it work. But and this is why you can't find right now WooCommerce templates, blogging templates, or any dynamic templates in our library. This is the reason, because we want to have that auto install first, and then we'll bring some things that will be very cool. Can you category labels in your homepage? Interviews first be brought in dynamically. Yes, they can, Carl. I've category labels. Yes, I've showcased that that if you you'll watch the recording. Besides all the internet problems, under the header in the categories, there was an element there that dynamically brought in the category title, so you can play with that. Let's see more questions. Jason, can you set the page up to automatically update when you add to your blog? This is it. Yes. This is actually the blogging functionality, right? You'll set up this part and then add another blog in there. And it will automatically go on your website and be displayed in the way you set it out to be. Let's see. Just fantastic. Regarding monetization, will there be a way of showing ads on your blogs? Of course, there will be a way. It is a way now. We offer. We have an element called embed. You can embed ads right now in Brizy Cloud CMS in any blog or any page. If you need for your ads, I think Google Ads requires you some scripts in the header or in the footer of your project. We have that as well. A feature called code injection. You can inject scripts from different third-party providers and bring in all sorts of apps, not only AdWords or you can bring in I don't know, Facebook Pixel, Google Tag Manager, any sort of ads like this. Virginia asks, what do you think about Brizy Cloud and the capability to index on Google? Do you think it's a competitive CMS for SEO? Yes, of course. Brizy Cloud CMS is as competitive CMS as it gets. Not only that is extremely easy to use, and it has an excellent and tremendous learning curve, but it also has all the SEO options you need. I think there are a couple of things that we still need to address there, as a per page a keyword or something like this. I think it's already on the list, and I know that we have some SEO fans that send us feedback. But SEO is there, and the indexing on Google is not a problem. What I find is usually a problem. A problem is to put the work in and make it so you are first in Google or on the first page at least. So part of the work is the most work is on your side, Virginia, not ours. Taiwan, plans to output RSS for your RSS import for people like podcasters that want podcasts to auto post to Brizy Cloud blog. Interesting. We didn't discuss anything like this until now, and I think we received this a couple of questions related to the RSS. Yeah, we want to flesh out the blogging, the main Brizy Cloud CMS part. That is, we put the foundation last week. Next is the advanced custom fields. And after that, we'll have the custom post builder. And from there, the doors open up and you'll be able to do all sorts of things. And we also will be able to think and receive feedback from you and think of certain other things that need to be put in, like RSS and other small things. Nico, just to clarify, when you talk about advanced custom fields, are you talking about integration of a plugin or actually Brizy version of advanced custom in-house? No integration. There are no integrations in Brizy Cloud CMS in forms of plugins, because Brizy Cloud CMS is a static cloud CMS. It has zero to do with WordPress. It doesn't work in a WordPress environment. The only link between Brizy Cloud and WordPress is our feature Brizy Sync, that is unique to Brizy, where you can go with blocks and layouts from one to the other. But other than that, no. The advanced custom fields is just a name that represents exactly what we'll have there. But our version of advanced custom fields built from the ground up and integrated in Brizy Cloud seamlessly. How do you, Peter, how to add site-wide search box? Well, you can't right now, Peter, but we have a search element in the works. The search element is already in Brizy WordPress, but we'll bring it into Brizy Cloud. As I've mentioned, this is only the foundation for Brizy Cloud CMS and blogging. Once we bring in more meat onto it, it will have a search box as well, and not only search box. It will also have a filter element that will let you do all sorts of nice filtering for your posts, custom posts, shopping, and things like that. I think this is it. Guys, I had a great time. I'm so sorry. Please accept my apologies for all the mishaps with the with the internet, and what can you do, right? This is technology. We'll try to do better next time. Let me share the presentation again. One sec, please. Yes, this is about it. I hope you guys enjoyed it, and I've hope that I made it clear enough. We'll also put video. We'll be putting videos for the blogging, and maybe on this the same video we'll recreate it maybe tomorrow and make it more clear and put it on our YouTube channel for you guys to see. We'll also publish this webinar tomorrow. Maybe I'll just cut the internet issues off. Let me see this presentation. Sorry, I see a question here. Cynthia asks, is this blog update already on Brizy? I can't find any of the elements post archive, or can't figure out how to add blog under assets. Probably, Cinda, you are editing a project that was created before last week when we added the blogging functionality. As I've told you before, the blogging functionality for another 2 or 3 months will be available only when you create a new website, a new project. So hit that plus button and create a new project from scratch, a new website, and that will get the blogging functionality. Let me see. We've went through this. Come on. Not my night. So we had the Q&A, but before I go, the surprise at the end, as usual, we want to give you guys a 20% discount on Brizy Pro. So you can go and get all those nice juicy Brizy Pro features in Brizy Cloud and use our Brizy Cloud CMS to start creating projects for yourself, for your clients, or blogs. It will apply only to personal and studio plans. And we'll send you an email with the discount. We have your emails. You use them to subscribe to our webinar, and the code will expire in a couple of days. So you'll either use it or you'll share it with a friend, or it's your choice. Thanks a lot for being here. We've really appreciated the support. And again, sorry for all the internet problems. I'll see you guys in the next one. Dimi out.